It had been a week since that dinner, since you had seen him, since his silence had turned from temporary to permanent. You had tried, texted him once, called twice, even asked him if Jungkook was okay, but the more you reached out, the more distance he became, so you stopped because maybe this was what he wanted. Maybe he was trying to move on, trying to be happy, and you didn't want to be the reason he couldn't. That evening you came home exhausted from work. The house was quiet. Your family had gone to a charity gala you couldn't attend because of last minute meeting. The silence felt heavier than usual. When the maid approached softly, "Welcome home, miss. You must be tired. Would you like some water?" You smiled faintly and nodded. "Thank you." You dropped onto the couch, loosening your ponytail when something on the tea table caught your eye, a white envelope glinting under the chandelier. You frowned. It was an invitation card. Hesitantly, you leaned forward to reach it. Your fingers trembled slightly as you unfolded it. Your breath hissed, the golden lettering, the perfectly printed names. You stared at the card until the words blurred. It shouldn't have hurt. You had told yourself to move on, to let him be happy, but now seeing his name beside hers, it written in golden ink, you wanted to tear it apart, burn it, pretend it didn't exist. Yet the truth was simple. So it's really happening. The maid glanced at you in confusion, but you forced a smile. It's nothing. You can rest. It's late. She nodded politely before leaving. When she left, your smile finally crumbled. You wiped the tear that had already fallen, but another escaped anyway. You tried to breathe to steady yourself. You leaned back on the couch, staring blankly at the ceiling as the tears slipped down again, quite uninvited, unstoppable. Jungkook was getting married, and you were losing him. You wiped your tears again and again, and the moment your eyes drifted back to the golden lettering on the invitation, a memory slipped in, soft, uninvited. You and Jungkook were at cafe waiting for a client who was running late. You were scrolling through the presentation while he pretended to check emails. He was bored, tapping his fingers on the table, until someone caught his attention. A couple walked in, young, married, glowing with the kind of simplicity you only see in movies. The woman was cradling a baby, and the man was holding her waist as if she were made of porcelain. He kept adjusting her chair, taking the baby so she could sip her drink, brushing her hair behind her ear with a smile that screamed, "I am whipped, and I don't care who knows." You had glanced at Jungkook, expecting him to roll his eyes, but instead he was staring softly, curiously, almost longingly. You nudged him. "What are you staring at?" He didn't look away. "That? The baby?" He shook his head with a smile. Everything, the way he looks at her, the way she trusts him, that kind of life, he exhaled, almost sigh. "I want something like that one day." You had laughed lightly at that time. "Since when do you think about marriage and babies?" He shrugged, lips curling. "Since someone ruined my peace." You had rolled your eyes, thinking he was joking, but the way he looked at you after saying it, the softness you didn't know how to read, stayed with you long after that day. Now, sitting alone in your silent living room, that memory felt like a because he was getting the life he wanted, just not with you. Your chest tightened painfully as you looked again at the invitation card. Jungkook was getting married. And that the man who once said he wanted a life like that, looking at a couple in a cafe as if picturing a future, would be standing beside someone else on Sunday, smiling the way he once did at you. Your fingers clenched around the card as your voice cracked in the empty room. Why wasn't I enough? The Grandeur estate was decorated with extra vases, sparkling chandelier, and elegant floral arrangements filling the massive hall. Today was Jungkook and Mirai's engagement day, a day you never thought would come. You had been forcing yourself to smile, to act like you were fine, even when your heart felt like it was being crushed under the weight of reality. Your entire family had been invited, and while your parents were busy socializing, your brother Jimin had made it his mission to annoy you. Once stop frowning, people will think you are jealous. Jimin teased, nudging your shoulder. You shot him a glare. I'm not jealous. Jimin smirked. Keep telling yourself that. Before you could snap back, your mother shot Jimin a sharp look. Jimin, leave your sister alone. Jimin signed dramatically. Fine, fine. Rolling your eyes, you decided to escape for a moment, excusing yourself to head toward the restroom. But as you walked down the empty hallway, something caught your attention. A soft voice, Mirai's voice. I don't love him. Mirai's hushed voice came through. Your bros fraud. You stopped near the slightly open door of a private lounge, curiosity prickling at you. Without thinking, your feet moved closer until you were close enough to hear. She wasn't alone. There was a man with her you didn't recognize. Her delicate fingers clutched his sleeves as he spoke in hushed tones. There was something about the way she looked at him, something different. Mirai said, her voice urgent. You know that? You are the only one I want. The man scoffed. Then why are you marrying him? Mirai let out a frustrated sigh. Because I don't know what you want me to do, Hyunjun. You think my father would happily agree to let me marry a man who isn't from a rich and powerful family? Moreover, with a man who doesn't even want to face my parents. Mira, you know why I can't. I'm your father's secretary's son. If they find out about us, they will throw him out of his job. My research will stop. Everything I have worked for will be gone. I never asked you to leave everything. I just wanted you to fight for us. You left me with no choice. The man crossed his arms. So what? You are just going to use him for your father's deal? You breathed, your hands clenched at your side as realization hit you. Mirai was lying. She was cheating Jungkook. Anger surged through you, and before you could stop yourself, you pushed the door open. Mirai, she gasped, whipping around to face you, her eyes wide with shock. Why? You stepped forward, face clenched. So you are lying to everyone. You are cheating Jungkook. She swallowed nervously. How much did you hear? You snapped. Enough, enough to know that you are playing Jungkook. Mirai glanced nervously at the man beside her. Man, please let me explain. But before she could say another word, a deep, familiar voice cut through the tension. What's going on here? Her breath hissed. Jungkook stood just a few feet away, his sharp gaze flickering between you and Mirai, his expression unreadable. Mirai went pale. Jungkook. You turned to face him, heart pounding. Jungkook, you said, voice firm. Jungkook, she is lying to you. I heard that. Mirai doesn't love you. She is only marrying you because her parents won't accept the man she actually loves. Mirai danced beside you, but you ignored her. Jungkook, however, remained unfazed. His expression didn't change, his hands still in his pockets. I know, he said simply. Your brows frowned in shock. What? You knew? Pretending to listen him, but when he didn't say anything for a long moment, she spoke. Jungkook, Mirai's soft voice pulled him back. He exhaled sharply, forcing himself to focus. Yeah? She hesitated before speaking. I think we need to talk. Jungkook turned to her, surprised by the serious look on her face. Mirai let out a slow breath, moving closer. I won't pretend like we know each other well, but I do know one thing. We are both here because we have to be, not because we want to be. Jungkook's jaw tightened. What are you saying? She met his eyes, and for the first time since this whole arrangement started, her poised mask slipped. I'm in love with someone else, she confessed quietly. Jungkook froze. I know our parents think this is the perfect match. I know they see this as a business deal more than anything, but the truth is, my heart already belongs to someone else. Jungkook stared at her, the weight of her words settling in. Mirai smiled sadly. He should have felt relieved. This was his way out. If Mirai was against this marriage too, then maybe, just maybe, they could both put an end to this. But instead of relief, all he felt was frustration because Mirai had someone she loved, and he. Mirai watched his expression carefully. You love someone too, don't you? Jungkook's throat tightened. He could deny it. He should deny it. But for the first time, he didn't. He simply looked away, and that silence was all the answers Mirai needed. Jungkook exhaled sharply, rubbing his temple before turning to Mirai. If you love someone else, then why are you here? He asked, his voice tight. Mirai sighed, looking down at her hands. Because I don't have a choice? Jungkook frowned. What do you mean? She let out a soft, bitter chuckle. The boy I love, he is not rich, not like us. My parents would never accept him. Jungkook stilled. He knew what it was like to live under family expectations. To have every major life decision dictated by business and social status, but this Mirai was giving up on the person she loved because of money. His chest tightened. That's wrong, he muttered. Mirai looked at him, startled. What? You think this marriage will make you happy? You think pretending will make it easier? Jungkook scoffed. Mirai's expression wavered. What else can I do? Jungkook clenched his jaw. For the first time, he saw her not as the poised, elegant heiress his parents chose for him, but as a girl trapped in a life she didn't want. Just like him, you could fight if you love him. Fight for him, he said firmly. Mirai let out a shaky breath. She asked, her gaze piercing. And what about you? Are you fighting for the one you love? Jungkook opened his mouth, then stopped because the truth was he did everything he could, but fate wasn't in his favor. Jungkook felt something heavy settle in his chest, a tightness that refused to go away. His vision blurred as unshed tears welled up in his eyes, but he quickly looked away, swallowing the lump in his throat. Mirai noticed, oh, she must be lucky. She murmured, a small, sad smile tugging at her lips. Jungkook let out a bitter chuckle, shaking his head. You are lucky. At least the person you love loves you back, he muttered. Mirai's smile faded. But me, the one I love, doesn't love me back. Jungkook exhaled sickly, his gaze dropping to the floor. The words tasted bitter on his tongue. There was a heavy silence. Then Mirai hesitated before softly asking, Is it Ryan? Jungkook didn't speak. He didn't need to, because when he finally lifted his gaze, the raw pain in his eyes was enough for an answer. And then slowly he nodded. Mirai's expression softened, her heart aching for him. Jungkook, she whispered. He looked away, jaw clenched. It doesn't matter. She has already said she doesn't feel the same for me. He muttered, knowing he already lost you. Jungkook exhaled, finally meeting your gaze. Yes, I know. Mirai told me before. Anger surged through you, and you are still going along with this? Before Jungkook could answer, a new voice, the man beside Mirai, Hyunjun, her boyfriend, spoke sharply. That's because he doesn't care. His gaze sharp, jaw clenched. He has everything wealth, power, status. He is not the one suffering here. The tension in the room thickened. Jungkook's eyes darkened as he turned toward Hyunjun. You think I don't care? Hyunjun scoffed. You are letting her marry you, aren't you? Jungkook let out a sharp chuckle. Listen, Hyunjun, if you really love Mirai, then you should be the one fighting for her, not standing in the shadows waiting for someone else to make the choice for you. Jungkook tilted his head slightly, his gaze cold. If you can't even stand up for her, then don't blame her for choosing what's safe over what's right. Hyunjun's shoulders stiffened, his feet clenching. You think it's that easy? You think I don't want to be with her? Jungkook scoffed and stepped closer. No, I think you are a coward. What did you just say? Hyunjun's eyes flashed with anger, but Jungkook didn't flinch. He met Hyunjun's glare head on. You heard me? You trapped Mira in the name of love, fed her empty promises, but when it actually mattered, when she needed you to stand up for her, you did nothing. Mirai flinched beside her, Hyunjun, her breath catching. You filled her head with dreams you knew wouldn't come true. And now, when she is forced to choose, you act like the victim. Hyunjun's jaw tightened. I love her. Jungkook let out a hollow laugh, shaking his head. Then prove it, because love isn't about words. Hyunjun, it's about taking responsibility. Something in his tone pierced through you. Because every word Jungkook was throwing at Hyunjun, it felt like he wasn't throwing at him. He was talking to you. You had told Jungkook you didn't love him. You had walked away when he needed you the most. And now he stood before another man, accusing him for doing exactly what you had done to him. Your throat tightened, your hands curling into fist at your sides, as if every sentence was a hidden jab. Jungkook exhaled sharply, rubbing the back of his neck before facing Hyunsun again. If you really love Mirai, if you don't want to regret this later, then fight for her. Stop finding excuses. Stop waiting for the right time. His voice was steady, but the weight in it, the egg, was undeniable. Mirai's eyes softened. Jungkook. No, what ifs? Don't just stand in the background watching her suffer because you did nothing. Hyunsun hesitated. It's easy to say when you have money, power. What? You think money is the only thing that matters? Jungkook let out a bitter laugh. If you truly love her, then go to her parents, prove yourself, make them believe you will work hard, that you can give her the life she deserves, that you can give her everything she once had and more. Hyunjun swallowed hard, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. Jungkook's expression softened just slightly, his voice lowering, because love isn't about taking the easy way out. It's about knowing that even if you fail, you won't be alone. In the end, you will still have each other. Mirai's breath hissed. She stared at Jungkook as if truly seeing him for the first time. He continued quieter now, but his words still burned. If you really love her, then shield her from the pain. Don't add to it. Hyunjun went silent. Mirai's flinched. You stood frozen. Every moment raw, your heart beat heavy because deep down you knew Jungkook wasn't just talking about them. He was talking about you and him. about how he had always stood by you, shielding you from everything, waiting for you to do the same, but you never did. You had let him fight for you alone, you had let him love you alone. And now, hearing him like this, you realize something devastating. He had stopped waiting. Jungkook turned away, his jaw tight, his eyes unreadable. I have said what I needed to, the rest is up to you. Mirai glanced between him and Hyunjun, then at you. A knowing smile curved her lips. Leave it, Jungkook. They won't understand because all they know is their problem, their pain. Ours means nothing. You felt something snap inside you. Your eyes narrowed. What the hell does that mean? When I finally turned to you, eyes sharp. You tell me, Ryan. What? You have something to say to me? Your voice snapped, and Mirai stepped closer. You were here blaming me for playing Jungkook, but what were you doing? Her voice was filled with quiet anger. Why do you even care what happened to Jungkook? It's not like you ever cared about his feelings. You swallowed hard, feeling your pulse race. Mirai, she cut you off. No, you keep acting like you are trying to protect him. But tell me, Van, did you ever care when he was hurting because of you? Her voice was bitter, sharp enough to cut through the air. Your lips parted, but no words came out. Jungkook let out a sharp breath, his jaw tightening. His gaze was locked on you, as if waiting for your answer. And suddenly you weren't sure you could handle what was coming. You don't know anything about what happened between us. You clenched your jaw, she snapped. I know enough to see that you only show up when it suits you, when it's too late to matter. Your patience broke. Yes, I did. And I did it on his face. I didn't hide behind excuses like a boyfriend, keeping him confused and guilt tripping him. And what about you? You stepped closer. You think I don't see what you are doing? You are using him, Mirai. You don't love him. You want what he can give your father's company. Jungkook's voice sliced through the tension. Enough. You and Mirai froze. He stood there, eyes dark, jaw clenched, so tight it looked painful. Jungkook. He let out a harsh and humorless laugh. Why are you here, Miss Park? You blinked, stunned. What? His tone dropped to ice. He stepped closer, eyes locking on you. You heard me? You act like you care about me, like you are trying to protect me, but when it actually matters, when I need someone to stand by me, you are the first one to walk away. Your stomach twisted painfully. That's not fair, isn't it? He let out a hollow laugh. You are so quick to say Mira don't love me, that she's using me. But what about you, Ryan? Your breath gasped. He stepped closer, voice softer but devastating. You always had me. I stood by you for years. I never asked for anything. But the moment I needed you, the moment I asked you to help me, you turned your back on me. His voice was sharp, tearing your heart. Jungkook, please. You said you don't have feelings for me. Fine, I accept that. Then you shouldn't stand here pretending you care because if you really did. His voice cracked. You wouldn't have let me go so easily. You curbed your anger, barely keeping your emotions at bay. Your heart was tearing apart. You hated this. You hated how much he was right. You could feel how much he was hurt, furious, and breaking all over again, but you had no words to tell him what you feel. See, you can't even deny it. You flinched as he tucked a hand through his hair. Mirai watched quietly. Hyunjin looked guilty. But you only care about Jungkook. You pleaded, but he cut you off. I don't want to hear it, Van. I don't. You took a shaky breath, stepping forward. You are misunderstanding. Am I? He let out a dry laugh, shaking his head. You don't love me, right? You made that clear, so why the heck are you here? Your heart ached because I. Because you what? You don't get to pick and choose when I matter. You don't get to control how I feel. He snapped, his patience running thin. I never wanted to control you. I just. You just what? You just didn't care enough? His gaze burned through you, voiceless with frustration. You exhaled sickly. No, I care too much. Jungkook breathed hissed. Silence. He laughed sickly as if the words hurt him. That's wrong. It's not. If you cared, you wouldn't have let me agree to this marriage. You wouldn't have pushed me away every time I got close. He said, stepping forward until there was barely any space between you. His voice dropped to a whisper. You wouldn't have broke my heart before I even had the chance to give it to you. Your breath couched in your throat because for the first time you saw it, not just his anger or frustration, but his pain, devastation, heartbreak. Your wasn't blood when you watched. Jungkook turned away, your heart pounded. You couldn't let this end like this. Your hand shot out, grabbing his wrist. Wait, don't do this, don't walk away, please. You pleaded. Jungkook froze slowly. He turned his head to look at you, his eyes unreadable. Your grip tightened, his expression flickered, but he stayed silent. No, you want to stop me? Jungkook let out a low, annoyed cough. I. You let me go. Why? And you made it clear you didn't feel the same. So why are you stopping me now? His voice made you just act. Because I do feel the same. You screamed internally, but your lips wouldn't move. Jungkook searched for your face, for something, anything, but you didn't speak. He let out a bitter chuckle and gently pried your fingers off his wrist. That's what I thought. You should let me go, he murmured, stepping back. Jungkook. He shook his head, breath shaky. Jungkook took one last shaky breath and turned away from you. You watched his back move farther, your heartbeat thundering so hard it hurt. Your vision blurred, your finger trembled. Your chest tightened until the air couldn't fit inside anymore. You opened your mouth to call him, but the world tilted. Your knees buckled before you could stop them.